Hi, I'm Dave Muecke, and you're watching What's Your Story, where you'll meet interesting people doing interesting things in interesting places you'll never see anywhere else. And here's today's story. If you or someone you know is going through a divorce, you'll be happy to know there's a show to help you out. And Elif Ekin, a Turkish American, has put together the Divorcee Cafe and has a lot of answers just for you. And she makes some fantastic Turkish baklava. So I met Elif Ekin, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. And she has an interesting story that I wanted to share with you guys because she's actually organized, and I don't know what you could be called, maybe not necessarily the proprietor, but the creator of what's called the Divorcee Cafe. And she's been doing this live in the real world for a few months, and we're going to bring this onto VideaZine as a weekly show. And she's going to take some time to share some good information that could be helpful for those of you who are struggling or know someone who's struggling with divorce. So Elif,
yes,
in your own words,
in my own words,
what is Divorcee Cafe?
Well, Divorcee Cafe, it's sort of a new concept cafe. It pops up once a month on the first Wednesday of every month at the 7th and 7th Street Collaborative Studio in Salt Lake City. It's open all day.
7th South and 7th East.
Approximately.
Yeah.
Approximately.
Okay.
And it's open all day from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And it's a place where people can come and gather and ask questions if they are going through divorce or if they've already gone through it and need to touch base about either custody or finances or, I don't know, getting their life together in other aspects of health and job and security. And they can come, ask their questions, take as much time or as little time, and then they can go about their day, and it's completely free. So facilitators whose profession touches upon some aspect of divorce will come and set a time that's put on a calendar, and we call it holding space for someone to come in, and they will give them their time for free.
So you have attorneys that show up?
I have attorneys, I have financial planners, I have health coaches, I have life coaches, I have energy workers, I have massage therapists, I have, you name it. If it can help you move through to a better life, we've got it.
So you could come get divorce advice from an attorney followed by massage.
Possibly, yes.
Huh.
Depending on who's there to
That's the
hold
Divorcee
space.
Cafe.
Yeah.
That's great.
Exactly.
So how many have you actually held so far? It's an all-day thing, once a month. What month are we on?
I think we're on month 6.
Month 6? How's it been going?
You know, it's getting more buzz as the months go on. I think it's hard for people to kind of say, is this real?
Yeah.
Is this true? Can I really just go in and ask my question? There's no catch. You're not going to have to sign up and, you know, you're going to send me tons of spam. And it's true. It's free.
Yeah.
Because, you know, just because you sign the paper of your decree doesn't mean that divorce stops.
Yeah.
It just is constantly evolving and changing. And I wanted a place where people could come and go, hey, you know what, my ex is getting married. How do I deal with sharing time? Or how do I do blending families? Oh, you know, we got a parenting coach who helps with blending families. Why don't you come and ask about how to introduce dynamics?
Yeah.
Or, hey, you know, my ex is moving abroad. How do I kind of get my feet, under me about, what custody looks like? Because you're maybe 5-10 years removed from your own case and your own lawyer. What are you going to do? Go spend $2,500 to retain another lawyer for a 5-minute question?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
That's awesome. So how did you decide to go forward with this? I mean,
It was kind of an offhand comment or joke or nudge or push off the cliff to do it kind of thing. I fell into life coaching after I went through my divorce and benefited so greatly from being able to have someone kick me gently in the butt to kind of get my act together that I said, hey, other people could benefit from this. You don't know where your life is or where it's going because it's all upside down and sideways. So I said, I'm going to be a life coach and I'm going to help people through divorce. Well, that demographic is kind of hard to tap.
Yeah.
And I made an offhand comment to a friend. I said, well, you know, there's no Divorcee Cafe that everybody hangs out at. And my friend turned to me and goes, well, why don't you make one? I'm like, great. Now I'm got to create one, put my money where my mouth is.
That's how all great things get started.
I know,
Just
I
thoughts
know.
that come to mind or suggestions, or that's great.
So
life coaching, is what you're doing in that genre, is that centered around divorcing, or is it more broad?
Well, it's centered around divorce and transition and getting your life back together after a transition. So it's either divorce or a death or changing jobs or something that kind of really knocks you off your feet and onto your butt.
So how's that work? I mean, how do people take part in that?
Well, they would just go to my website and they would schedule some coaching time, and
Okay.
then we would just kind of see what package they would fit into.
But the Divorcee Cafe, they can participate in everything there, no charge.
No charge. There's tea, there's baklava, there's services. I've had people come and ask a couple questions and say, okay, I gotta go. And then I've also had people block out the entire day,
Yeah.
and they spent 5 hours.
Yeah.
And they talked to a lawyer, they talked to a financial advisor, they got energy work done from a shaman, they got their cards read, they talked to a health coach, they had a free salad provided because we had someone who was demonstrating quick and easy salad prep. So they got a free salad, there was tea, there was baklava. They left, they taught their massage class or taught their yoga class, and then they came back and they continued on. So I think 5-6 hours
So it's
total.
kind of like Disneyland for divorcees.
I guess so. Hadn't thought of it that way.
The food's
but
even great.
yeah.
So probably the thing that really stood out to me when I went, the couple times I've gone to see what happens there, is the baklava.
Yeah.
Now you're Turkish, your family's Turkish.
Yes.
Were you born here?
No, I wasn't. I was born in Turkey.
You were born in Turkey. So you make baklava that tastes fabulous. It's a little different than Greek baklava.
Yes.
And you're really mixing it up. I mean, there's some new flavors.
Yeah, I punk it out. So I do all sorts
punk
of
it out.
different flavors. I have fun in the kitchen. It's my
Yes.
little playful creativity coming out in my food.
So Elif is not making any money off of the Divorcee Cafe.
No.
But she sells her baklava. And it's available how? How are they going to get in touch with you?
Well, they can go onto my website for bohemianbaklava.com.
Okay, bohemianbaklava.com.
Baklava.com.
No spaces.
Nope.
And can they order from there?
Yes.
Okay,
they can.
good. So she's working up the packaging and everything so we can get it shipped. And I have to tell you this, it's fabulous because she serves it, by the way, it's free at the Divorcee Cafe for people who show up there in the real world.
Exactly.
But and you've usually got several different flavors. Cotton candy is one you just had the other day.
Yes, that was the experiment for the week, was watermelon cotton candy
Oh my
flavored
gosh.
baklava.
You'll walk away with a sugar high.
Totally.
Great stuff. So go to baklava,
Bohemian baklava.
bohemianbaklava.com to order some. It'll make for a great gift, something great to keep around for guests. And where does the Bohemian come in?
Because it's eclectic and unorthodox, and it's out of the box flavor. So that's
unorthodox baklava.
where... Yes,
I love it.
exactly.
So what kinds of things do you have planned for the show? Anything yet? I mean, this is brand new.
Well, we'd like to talk about, a few steps of how to get yourself together after divorce, how to tell your kids that you're getting divorced. I shared the story that worked for me and my daughter, and it just completely clicked, and wow, that worked well. And she was able to go off and on her business and completely integrated it and was fine. And different tips and techniques. Be talking to different advisors. I'm going to be starting 5 tips in 5 minutes with the different advisors, some things that you can implement in a few minutes.
So you'll be talking to the attorneys and whatnot, and so it'd be a good idea to tune in if you're thinking about getting divorced, if you have already been divorced, or if you're in the middle of a divorce. And you have resources online at websites outside of the show.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So you can find our resource list that I've been gathering all of the facilitators' information is on the Divorcee Cafe website. So you can go there, divorceecafeconversations.com.
Divorcee
Cafe
Conversations.com. Got it down? It's a long one.
It is a long one.
DivorceeCafeConversations.com.
Yes.
And you've got that list there?
I'm creating, slowly gathering everybody's information so that you can go to that list and you can look at home and you can say, oh, how do I do a mortgage? How do I refinance? Oh, there's 5 mortgage people. We put them up there. They must be good people. So you don't have to waste time and money vetting people to know whether or not they're going to have your best interest at heart. Most of the people who are facilitators at the cafe have gone through a divorce, so they understand.
Yeah.
They've either gone through a divorce or their parents were divorced, so they get the dynamic. And the people are so willing to give their time because they know that if they had this help when they were going divorce, it would have made everything so much easier.
So this is a free resource. Okay, so you go to that website, pick out the help you need, make the phone call. If you need more, obviously you can get more by paying for it, but this is some initial help and answers to some of those questions that you might have that you don't necessarily have to run out and retain an attorney or.
Well, sometimes you might not even know what questions you need to ask, but we put the calendar out so you can look at the calendar of facilitators and go, why is there a financial analyst on there? I thought I just needed a divorce attorney.
Yeah.
Well, you need a financial analyst to look over your decree to make sure that the wording is correct so that you can be protected in your retirement, in the transferring of the funds. You don't know what to ask if you don't even know the questions or what problems could arise.
Okay.
There are so many things that I look back and go, wow, if only I had somebody take a look at my decree, I would have saved $5,000, because of one word.
Wow.
Or it was one word and an omission of some words.
Yeah.
And little things, you're pretty much insane when you're going through divorce and you can't think clearly anyway. And we love you, but you're kind of cuckoo.
Yeah.
And
okay.
But everybody's there. It's not.
I understand. Yeah, totally.
And you have probably 1 to 3 main things that you're focused on that you need to get out of the decree, and the other stuff you're like, I'll just think about that after.
Yeah.
And then when after comes, you're like, wow, I really should have thought of that beforehand, but my energy was elsewhere. So that's why we put the calendar out, so it can trigger something, go, maybe I should go there and ask for help because I didn't know that I would need that help. Why would I need this?
Yeah.
So that's why we do it. And then you have a conversation, and then if you need to set time with that facilitator after, then you can do it there.
Yeah. Good. So whether you're divorcing or whether you know someone who's divorcing, there's a place you can go online to get the most current information from the most current facilitators that would be helpful to you or your friends. And when you're not thinking straight because you're one of those, I'll quote you, crazies getting divorced.
Cuckoo.
Cuckoo, that's the term.
You go temporarily cuckoo.
Temporarily.
Not that you're generally cuckoo, but you go temporarily cuckoo.
So a Band-Aid for the temporarily cuckoo who are divorcing.
Exactly.
And don't forget, you've got to get some of her baklava. And you can go to the email address that you're seeing right below us here. Order some baklava, try it out. You'll be reordering, I can tell you that right now. It's awesome stuff. And tell me that flavor again.
Watermelon
cotton candy baklava. Now that's bohemian. And then also watch for the show coming up on VideaZine, and you can get in touch with Elif if you have any questions about what's going on with the Divorcee Cafe and some of her life coaching at the website that we're listing below now. That's it.
That's it. Thanks. It's a wrap.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for letting me stumble on words like thanks for joining me.